Cavaliers here in Friday Night Light action at Coffee Stadium. Alongside me, as always, is Ryan Keith, and back from his vacation in Michigan, Shane Young.
What's up, guys?
Well, ladies and gentlemen, last week was a heartbreaker, to say the least. It was a fantastic game by both teams, both the West Springfield Spartans and the Robinson Rams. However, there can only be one victor, and it was the Spartans on the late game heroics of their quarterback, Musket, going for the first play, one drive, immediately following the tying two-point conversion by Shaun. He ran it 55 yards into the end zone, and the Spartans did not let go of that lead, that 7 points. Today, however, it's a different setting. We are in Coffee Stadium, the Rams' first home game, and they are planning to make this first home game anything but loud, as your Rams get ready to take the field for the first time at Coffee Stadium in 2015. Your Robinson Rams have taken the field.
And tonight is a big game for the Robinson Rams, Shaun, because they're playing the Woodson Cavaliers, the team down the road from here, close by, which means, of course, there's a bit of a rivalry between these two teams. How big of a factor do you think that's going to play here tonight?
Well, I'll ask Shane. Well, immediately following the national anthem, and ladies and gentlemen, we remind you that today is the 14th anniversary of 9/11, as we honor America and those who were lost on that horrible September morning 14 years ago. With the honor guard from the Fairfax County Sheriff's Department, will present the colors.
Led by Sergeant Brian Wilson, and along with Sergeant Brian Wilson, Ram alumni Sergeant Steve Thompson, the class of '91, and PFC Adam Yastrzemski of the class of 2004, as well as Sergeant Brian Wensick and Master Deputy Sergeant Sam Gonzalez, PFC Kevin Davis, PFC Kent Lynn, and PFC Mary Munder. And now, in remembrance of this tragic day in American history, we will never forget the brave men and women who lost their lives 14 years ago today at the World Trade Center, the Pentagon, and on Flight 93 over Pennsylvania. As we listen to the national anthem, please take some time to think about those who have given their lives for our freedom and those who are fighting for them now. We fly the American flag with pride, and we know what a great country we live in. At this time, would everyone please remove your hats, salute the flag, and we'll honor all the first responders and those who lost their lives on 9/11/2001 with a moment of silence. And now, we honor America with the playing of our national anthem by the marching Rams under the direction of Andrew Law.
And a standing ovation from both sides of the field, as 14 years ago today, as we mentioned, the tragic September morning had affected not just one side. There are no rivals when it comes to honoring those who protect our nation and protect us in our nation. So, to all of the first responders, as well as people watching around the world and protecting us overseas, we'd like to thank you, and I would like to thank you on behalf of everybody here at Ram Network for keeping us safe and allowing us to practice our freedom and play this game that we absolutely love. With all that said, the lights are bright, the sun is setting, and it is ready time for football once again here in Northern Virginia. As Ryan mentioned before, we have the Woodson Cavaliers from right down the street up against our Robinson Rams. Both teams coming in at a record of 0 wins, and 1 loss. Like I said earlier before the moment of silence, we had a heartbreaker of a loss last week against West Springfield, losing in the final minutes of the game. Woodson lost by 17 in their game, and both teams are looking to try to get their season back on the high road with a win in the second game of the season. What do you think, Shane?
You know, Shaun, in that West Springfield game, even though Robinson lost the game, what you saw was a lot of good defense, and you clearly saw they're able to contend with good teams, and when you have probably the hardest schedule in the state, that's going to be necessary to compete with good teams. So although Robinson did lose, you saw what they got to prove, and they're going to show it here tonight.
Teams are being presented with the coin toss right now. Ryan, with Robinson's being named after a Medal of Honor winner, this school has so much pride, or takes so much pride, in how it treats its military members, and just how patriotic all the student body is just overall when it comes to days like this, trying to honor America and honor those who protect our freedom. How big of a game is this? It's America out. I've got my American bow tie, my socks. Shane's got a little American on. I mean, Ryan Keith's always just an All-American himself, so he doesn't have to wear anything. What does this game mean, especially just for the Robinson Rams, being that this school just embarks so much patriotism?
I definitely think that is going to come into play here. Obviously, our student section, very hyped up, just because, as you said, being named after a Medal of Honor recipient, we really are around sort of a military aspect in our school, and just growing up in this area, there's a lot of military families here. So I definitely think today, being the day that it is, 9/11, it's a tough day in history for our nation, but in regards to the game here tonight, I think the Rams are going to keep that in the back of their mind, but stay focused on the task at hand, which is to walk away at the end with a W against the Woodson Cavaliers.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, the coin toss was won by the W team Woodson Cavaliers, and they elected to receive the first half kickoff, which means that your Robinson Rams will receive the second half kickoff. Ladies and gentlemen, as always, I will have my offensive and defensive keys to the game for your Robinson Rams. Offensively, the Rams need to continue to pound the rock, as everybody knows that they will do at least 40 times a game. But I liked how last week they also had the second touchdown, be a passing touchdown. So if they can incorporate Alex Miller a little bit more, this would definitely be good for them. And defensively, they got to stop the high-paced Woodson offense. They faced a good team last week who runs the same system in the Spartans. They have to try to do the same tonight against the Cavaliers. As the kickoff is up and this game is underway, as the Woodson return man takes it from the 10, and he's at the 30 and is brought down at the 40-yard line by a pack of Rams. That was Jacquez Stewart in particular to bring him down on the play. Very good return there, but pick up of 31 yards for the Cavaliers.
You know, Shaun, you talked about running the ball, and why not when you got big boys like Shaun Foncha and Dejan, but you also have speed backs like Roman, and a little bit of you can also throw the ball a little bit with the Josh Sellers.
As he is stuffed in the backfield, and they call, entire Rams defense is calling for a ball, but but it will remain Woodson ball. Sorry for cutting you off there, Shane. And it will be 2nd down and 10 for the Woodson Cavaliers.
As I was saying, just when you got big boys like that, why not run the ball? And it seems to work for Rams every week, so there's no harm in running the ball like that.
Rams showing blitz. They bring the house. And here comes pressure on the quarterback as it's completed to number 1, Youngblood. And the ball is out, and everybody on the sideline is saying that it is Rams football. Stoppage of clock, and it is. First drive of the Woodson Cavaliers is the first takeaway of the Robinson Rams.
And Shaun, going back again to last week, one key aspect of the game was the Rams defense getting takeaways and the offense capitalizing on those takeaways for touchdowns. So we'll see if they keep up with that trend here in week 2.
Here's Alex Miller coming into the huddle as the Rams will start the game on offense at 11:08 in the first quarter, following a fumble by Youngblood, the wide receiver of the Cavaliers. Hand off to Lowry. Lowry is grabbed from behind and is tackled for practically no gain. As Shane mentioned earlier, the key part of this Robinson offense is the 3-headed monster, and the monster started growing a 4th head last week with the addition of Jaquez Stewart. But the original 3 heads is back there. All speedy backs, as Shane said, but all over 200 pounds with Foncha, Lowry, and Lee. Here's Miller under center. Takes the snap and hands it off to Dejan. Dejan once again gets stopped at the line of scrimmage for no gain. It will be 3rd down and 10. This is a very stingy front 7 for the Woodson Cavaliers.
You're seeing Woodson sort of load the box there with their linebackers, and their outside linebackers kind of creeping up close. They got a lot inside the box, but they're leaving the sidelines and outside open. If I'm Rams, I'm probably looking for maybe a 28-29 sweep here.
And Miller hands it off to Lee. Lee's breaking tackles all over the field, and he has enough for a first down. Dejan Lee got that first down by effort and effort alone. He outwilled 3 players on the Woodson defense and was able to break 3 tackles in doing so. Pickup of 11 on the play. That's a Robinson Rams first down. Dejan Lee once again pounding the rock for the Robinson Rams offense. Miller's under center. Draw play, and the ball is out. It appears to be Woodson ball, and it is. Miscommunication on the handoff. Miller could not get it to Foncha cleanly. And just like that, the Woodson Cavaliers take the ball right back. And this is going back and forth already, gentlemen.
Absolutely. 2 early turnovers for both offenses. Obviously not ideal, but thus far both defenses seem to have come to this game ready to play.
Quarterback in the shotgun for the Cavaliers. Hands it off to the running back, and he tripped himself up, but was able to pick up a few. It'll be 2nd down and 8 following the carry. I think that's 2nd and 9, pardon me.
And tonight we have 2 junior quarterbacks going against each other. Obviously Robinson's Alex Miller versus Woodson's JoJo Heisley.
Heisley in the backfield, pulls back, he slings it downfield and over the head of his tight end. It'll be 3rd down and 9 for the Robinson Rams after the incomplete pass intended for number 88. Harrison Jones, pardon me. Third down and 9. Rams have a chance to have this be a 3-and-out for the Cavaliers if they can just get the stop on this play. Rams secondary was pretty much exposed last week against the high-powered, high-passing Spartans. We're trying to improve on that against the Cavaliers tonight. Heisley back in the shotgun, gets absolutely consumed by Lee and is picked off by Richmond. Richmond has it at the 20, hits Harrison, and Harrison's not letting go, and he will be brought down at the 20-yard line. Fantastic pressure there by the front 7 of the Robinson Rams. Dejan Lee, as I said, consuming Heasley in the backfield, and he had to just put up a prayer, and that prayer was not answered for his team. It was for the Rams by the man of the name of Wesley Richmond.
Absolutely, that interception undoubtedly caused by the pressure put on by the Rams front seven.
Miller's under center. Handing off to Foncha. Foncha has room. Foncha's dragging 2 Cavaliers with him and will pick up about 15 on the play. Make that 16, pardon me, as a first down Robinson Rams by what else? One of the members of the three-headed monsters, Shaun Foncha at fullback.
And I absolutely love seeing that energy from Shaun Foncha, letting the refs know that he had achieved the first down with the classic first down
signal. Foncha has definitely gotten more and more excited about playing football as his high school career has gone on. Miller under center once again, handing it off once again to Foncha. He hurdles over a man and is able to break loose. He is met at around the 42-yard line by the linebacker and will be pick up a gain of about 6 on the play. Rams not going necessarily in the high tempo offense, but they are trying to get more plays off per drive to try to wear down the defense of the Cavaliers. Miller once again under center. This time off to Lee. Lee's got a couple of blocks. He's breaking loose. Lee tried and was one missed tackle away from walking this one back to the inflatable Ram in the back of the end zone. That'll be another first down for Robinson Rams. Once again, the second one on the day from Dejon Lee.
Dejon Lee, he's a tough guy to stop. 6'2", 220. I would not want to see Dejon Lee running my way, Shaun.
Every single back in the backfield is over 200 pounds. That's what makes them so nervous. Here is Miller lining up to pass, and that is Lowry on the reception. And there's a flag on the play. Lowry will get to the end zone, but they will call a block in the back, to the absolute disbelief to every single person on the sideline. Vossler is infuriated with Velasquez, who it will be on. It will be an illegal block in the back against the Robinson Rams.
That play.
Now, Shaun, watching that play, do you think they called that block? Shaun, going back to what I was saying, do you think that block in the back was on Mason Velasquez? And if so, watching that play, you saw that he positioned himself in a manner that sort of avoided hitting him in the behind. I just absolutely do not understand that call.
I totally agree with that. He sort of rolled into the block, and he kind of turned his back to him.
Handing it off to Foncha, and he is met at the line of scrimmage by a pack of Cavaliers. And the Robinson Rams had a passing touchdown in the books, but sadly it was taken back from a costly penalty. A block in the back by Mason Velasquez. Rams trying to already capitalize on the play action. Teams will always bite on the run given the high volume of rushing plays that they have in this system. So Alex Miller will have plenty of time if he rolls out in the boot. Handing it off to Foncha. Foncha tripped up on the play. Pickup of about 6, and that will be enough for a Robinson Rams first down. 1st and 10 from the from the Woodson Cavalier 33-yard line.
Robinson's guards are doing a good job of just making that big hole in these dives, and you've seen it getting 5 or 6 yards almost every time.
Miller, once again under center. Taking the snap, this time to Lee. Lee's got a lane. Lee's breaking tackles, cuts it back inside and back to the outside. He tries to hurdle over an absolute mess of players down in front of him. Wasn't able to get over the mess and pick up of about 11 on the play. Pardon me, 15 yards. Close enough. Math is not my strong suit. Jack and I could not say that enough times last year, and I will say it once again on my own this year. It is not a strong suit of mine, so I apologize. Here is Lowry. Lowry trying to cut it on the outside, and he's not able to get by the outside linebacker of the Cavaliers. Pickup of about 2.
Lowry
that
made
is
a little
Tim
mistake
Trimber,
there.
pardon me, on the tackle. Go ahead, Shane.
I was just going to say, Lowry, his guards were blocking inside so he could cut it up, but instead he tried to run around the guards, just leaving him open for a tackle. If he had just cut inside, he would have had room to run. You got to follow your block.
Miller under center, handing it off to Lee as a draw play this time, and he runs over the defensive player, and Dejon Lee, touchdown, Robinson. Pickup of 17 on the play. Dejon Lee with his 3rd touchdown on the season, with 2 last week and a thunderous run this week. Absolutely steamrolling over the middle linebacker of the Cavaliers. Dejon Lee with a 17-yard run to the promised land. Your Rams now lead 6-0 over the Cavaliers as Nathan Musso lines up to take the PAT. The kick is up and good. Yes, sir. Ryan, tell me about that drive.
That drive was just absolutely fantastic by the Rams. In my book, they scored 2 touchdowns, but there's only 1 on the scoreboard. But just the Rams really were able to march. The Woodson Cavaliers never really able to get a good stand. And I think the Rams are going to have a good day here if they continue to play the way they have, because the only turnover that they had was really an offensive error rather than a defensive play. So I think the Rams are going to do well here tonight.
I completely
continue
agree.
to play the way.
I would definitely say that play action works both ways. Not only do you deceive the defense by making it look like you're running the ball, but after that touchdown was taken back, they ran almost the exact same play with another bootleg. This time they handed it off, and the defense had to respect Alex Miller's ability to throw the ball, so a couple defenders stayed home, giving Dejon Lee plenty of room to run it up for about a 15-yard gain. Here's Musso on the kickoff. And the ball will be fielded at about the 14-yard line by the Cavaliers return man. And he gets it out for about 16-yard return to the 30. And that is where the Cavaliers will take offense on the 30-yard line. 1st and 10, 4:54 left to go in the first quarter. Heasley coming off of that interception last drive, which led to the Robinson touchdown.
You know, Ryan called it earlier, just talking about how the defense is creating turnovers, the offense is capitalizing on them, and that's exactly what we're seeing today. And if they can keep that up, they've got this game in the books.
There's a dead ball foul on the Robinson Rams. Penalties killing the Rams last week, and that'll be a 15-yard penalty, moving the Cavaliers to the to their own 45-yard line. Pardon me. Rams showing blitz. Heisley in center, shotgun, and he keeps it himself and has nowhere to go. Runs right back to the line of scrimmage and gets no more. Rams sniffed out that play, and we're not fooled by the read option of the Cavaliers.
Absolutely. Tyler Ariando, Austin Jones. The second they saw that the quarterback still had the ball, they were on the move and ran him out of bounds. Great play and a loss of yards in the first.
Heisley in the shotgun, trying to draw some people off, a Ram offside, and he fails to do so. He looks like he's going to keep it. No, he slings it, and it's in and out of the hands of Harrison, his tight end. Heisley with another incomplete pass. It'll be bring up 3rd down and 11. Rams trying to get to Heisley early on in this game and force him to make some critical mistakes before this game can really get anywhere for the Cavaliers. Their front 7 is absolutely huge for the Rams, and they tend to dominate opposing offensive linemen. Here's the quarterback keeper for Heisley, and after picking up about 5 on the play, that won't be enough for the 1st down. We'll see what the Cavaliers do. They are keeping their offense on the field. It'll be 4th down and 6 for the Cavaliers. Heisley in the shotgun. Takes the snap. Rolling out to his right. Now cuts back to his left. He's pressured and has nowhere to go, and he is tackled down by number 51, Tyler Ariondo, with the sack on the play. The little herd of the Rams is starting to be reborn this year in 2015 as the Rams get a critical stop against the Cavaliers offense on a 4th down and 6 and get the ball back in enemy territory. Number 2, Durant. Yes. Miller under center, handing it off. It's a reverse play to Lee. Lee has some room. He's breaking it. Spinning. Whatever he's got to do to get away from a tackler, Dejon Lee will try to do, and he pulled all of the tricks out of the bag with that one. And of course, there's a flag on the play. That was the story of last week's game, with numerous holding calls against this Rams offensive line. And it appears that it is another holding penalty. It is against the Rams. Rams shot themselves in the foot more than once last week. And they wanted to get better, especially Coach Scott Foster definitely wanted them to get better of keeping their composure and not letting them commit any costly penalties in this game. Miller is once again under center. Hands it off to Foncha. Foncha still driving and will only pick up about 1 on the play. Pardon me. I was looking at the original line of scrimmage. I'll pick up about 6 on the play. Thank you, Ryan.
You're absolutely welcome, Shaun. And these runs, as of now, you got to think the Rams' average is looking pretty nice. They're able to break away from this Cavalier defense and are gaining good yardage on the runs.
Here's Lowry, cutting it upfield. Roman Lowry has room. He's at the 20, 15, 10, 5. Roman Lowry slowing down because he knew he had hit the promised land. Roman Lowry with the touchdown. Robinson Rams up 13-0 over the Woodson Cavaliers. Beautiful run there by Roman Lowry.
Speaking of large gains via the run, we see it right there. This Rams offense absolutely grooving right now.
You know, you're seeing these. Good job by Roman Lowry. Just notice that the Rams guard blocked him on the inside. He took it inside and just used that speed to cut all the way out and just brought it all the way home.
Lowry with his first touchdown on the season. As the kick is up, and no doubt about it, with 2:30 left to go in the first quarter, your Rams are already up 14-0 over the Woodson Cavaliers. Rams are using long runs to their advantage. And that three-headed monster is making more than just a small appearance tonight, ladies and gentlemen. 2 of the 3 members have put 7 on the board for the blue and gold.
Absolutely, and it's not only the three-headed monster's speed and size. It's their ability to break away from tackles and get yards after contact that make them such a lethal weapon for defenses to deal with.
Well, as a defender, you try to break. You try to read your opponent, obviously, and the ball carrier if you're the tackler on the play. And looking at a man like a Dejan Lee or a Shaun or even a Roman Lowry, you see a large figure. Obviously, they're all over 200 pounds, and you expect them their move to be to run right over you. So you try to maintain a strong, firm base so you do not get run over. And if they do try it, you can at least wrap them up and bring them down. The problem with these three is that they can also shake you out of your shoes. And that is exactly what Roman Lowry did on that last play, as the kickoff is up and it is taken at the 10, as Youngblood takes it and is hit by Stewart. He is hit by Stewart, and I believe that is also number 9, which is, or pardon me, that was number 9, Mason Velasquez, on the 25-yard line. Isley in the shotgun. 1st and 10 for the Cavaliers. Harrison is in motion. Read option, hands it off to the back. And he is met by Donnie Warder and a whole pack of Rams for practically no gain. Maybe a gain of 1 on the play at the most.
And that's
It'll be 2nd and 9, pardon me, Ryan.
No,
go ahead.
Pardon me, I'm going to cut you off, Shaun. But that's been the story of this first quarter. The Rams front 7 not only stuffing the run, but putting pressure on the pass.
Speaking of which, Rams almost got to Heisley there, and the screen is not even close to being effective, as Donnie Warder and Dejan Lee on the outside meet him for practically no gain.
You know, Donnie's just one of those players you got to look out for. He's big, he's fast, and he can read. He has a high football IQ. He can read plays well, so look out for Donnie because he's going to be flying all over the place.
Heisley once again in shotgun, as it is 3rd down and 9 for the Cavaliers. Heisley dropping back to pass. He's in pressure, and he's rolling out to his left. He's going to try to use his feet, and he has nowhere to go as he picks up maybe 4 on the play, and it is about 4. It'll be 4th down and about 6.
And Heisley absolutely running for his life there, as the Rams herd was close in tail.
First punt attempt, yes, it is a punt attempt, rugby style for the Cavaliers. Caught by Richmond. Richmond has it. Nick Rodriguez, on the other hand, putting on a key block. That's what we call a pancake in football. Typically, you see those by those who eat over 12 pancakes. Nick Rodriguez, not the largest man, but he just made himself look big by destroying the poor Cavalier on that play. That's one thing that Vossler told me at the beginning of two-a-days that they definitely stress to this team is toughness and physicality. He felt like last year just toughness and physicality lost him a few games with the lack of it, and they're trying to get that so they can go better than last year. Here's Lowry once again making cuts. Lowry with the stiff arm, and he picks up about 17 or about 18, pardon me, on the play. Roman Lowry.
You know, Ryan talked about it earlier, but breaking tackles is huge for this team right now. They're getting met 5 yards in front of the line of scrimmage and then breaking those tackles and going for 10. So right now, these Rams running backs are just playing so physical, and they're getting 5 extra yards just purely based off breaking tackles.
Shane said it. Shane and Ryan have both preached it. 5 yards for your shortest carry is not too bad. Miller rolling out to pass. He decides to keep it himself, and Miller will pick up about 8 yards on the play. Good job there by Alex Miller making the smart play. And this is very, very, very bad news for the Rams. Alex Miller is right now down on the field. Alex Miller down on the field. It was a passing play. He rolled out to his right, tried to keep it himself instead of taking the risk of throwing it into coverage. And he must have just gotten his legs swept out from under him on that play. I'm not quite sure. I won't jump to any conclusions, but regardless, we hope the best for Alex Miller, for he is not only a leader, but not only a great player, but he is a great leader on this football team, as he is able to come up under his own power. And Alex Miller is walking on his own. That is the toughest quarterback to step it up as a sophomore last year in the shoes for Jack Roulette. He took some shots, and as a junior, man, he's only gotten bigger, stronger, so he can take even bigger hits. Obviously, you don't want those bigger hits to come. Alex Miller asking for his helmet back already. We'll see whether or not he returns to the game. Number 16, Devin Townsend, also a junior, will come in his place. And as the play is blown dead at the snap. This would be a false start probably, or a legal formation. It's a dead ball foul. It is a false start on the Rams. That will back them up 5 yards, and I'll make it 2nd down and 7 for the Rams. And just like that, Alex Miller is back on the field. You cannot keep him off. Oh, wow.
They're sending him off.
They are sending him off. The referees are not having any of it, as they are sending him back off. It is once again the end of the fourth quarter. Whether or not they are taking him off the field because of injury, or if it's because it's the end of the first quarter, I do not know. But at the end of the first quarter, regardless, your Rams are up 14-0 over the Woodson Cavaliers. Ryan, what did you like about the first quarter?
I mean, honestly, Shaun, what's not to like? On offense, the Rams are just absolutely bulldozering their way through this Woodson Cavalier defense. They're just absolutely destroying it via the run, and that's coming from long rushes, which everyone's contributing from the block to the running back breaking tackles. And on defense, the front seven, which is a key to this Robinson defense, is getting to the quarterback, putting pressure on the quarterback, and at the same time just absolutely stuffing any attempt at a run. So just dominant first quarter for the Rams.
Shane, what do you like about that first quarter?
Ryan basically just hit all the points. Defense is looking good, pursuing to the ball. You see like 4 or 5 Rams all over the running back when they try to run in, all over the QB when he tries to throw it. And this Rams offense is just doing a good job of breaking tackles and breaking away for long runs.
It'll be 2nd and 10 for the Rams, and
it's a tough blow to have Alex Miller kicked off the field. Not kicked off the field, but sent back to the sideline after walking on the field. But obviously the ref's first concern is the player's safety, so the Rams got to kind of boost that morale again and get some plays going here.
And Miller is actually running on the field as we speak. And we'll see if the Rams are able to convert here.
Miller back on the field under center. He hands it off to Lee. Lee taking it out to his right. Hurdles a man, and Lee has room. Dejon Lee at the 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Robinson. There are no flags on the play. Dejon Lee took that one of over 50 yards. and my goodness, he earned every single one of them, with one of the defenders aiming at his feet. And oh my goodness, ladies and gentlemen, if there's one place that you do not aim for these big backs, it is low. They will jump over you. They have that athleticism. My goodness, Dejan Lee. Second touchdown of the game. Perhaps the biggest one of the night for the Rams. The PAT is up and good, as your Rams, with 11:05 left to go in the second quarter, they lead by 3 touchdowns with a score of 21-0 over the WT Woodson Cavaliers.
I mean, that's just stuff you see on SportsCenter Top 10 right there. Just 3rd and long. Woodson defense probably expected a pass, especially with Alex Miller subbed on. And then all of a sudden, you get this sweep, and Dejan just takes it all the way to the house. And just what a good play call, and just what a good execution of that play.
Dejan Lee had plenty of room by the pulling guards of Lars Stevenson and company. That is definitely a physical offensive line for the Rams. If there is one thing that the Rams have as a bread and butter, it is a run. And it doesn't matter if it's to the outside, to the left, to the right, to the inside. It could be right down the middle. It could be right at a defender, as we just saw there with Dejan Lee hurtling over a Woodson Cavalier and then taking that one to daylight. 52 yards, the official run on the play. As Musso kicks it off, and it'll be taken at about the 18 by Youngblood. Youngblood. Youngblood tackled at the 29-yard line, and that is where the Woodson offense will attempt to try to grab hold back in this game. They are going to have a very tough uphill climb against them if they want to put any scores on the board in the first half, if they want any momentum going into the locker room. Here's Heisley in the shotgun. Handing it off to number 26. Jaquan Williams, as they say he loses the ball. That looked like a fumble from up here. They're calling it second down on the field. That was a loss of 5 on the play by Jaquan Williams, pardon me.
This Rams defense just picking up right where they left off in the first quarter. Just absolutely stuffing them in the backfield.
Isaac once again in the shotgun. Handing it off again to Williams. And once again, Williams is met this time by Donnie Warder in the backfield for another loss of about 2.
And you have to think that that is absolutely disheartening for the running back. He gets the handoff, looks up, and all of a sudden he is swallowed by this Rams front 7, has nowhere to go, and gets just absolutely, as I said before, stuffed in the backfield.
Heisley has feeling the pressure. He slings it down the field, and it's over the head of everybody.
Good job by the Rams. It's 3rd and long. You don't want to overcommit and get caught surprised by Woodson. Good job by the Rams dropping back, knowing that if they throw the ball short, they can stop it and still get the 4th. So just a good job of playing back and not being too worried.
4th in the state of Mississippi for the Woodson Cavaliers. Geography is a strong suit of mine, ladies and gentlemen. That is something that Jack and I both worked on last week. We are very proud of it.
Why Mississippi
Timeout called on the field by the Cavaliers. And the Rams appear to be getting the ball right back with a more than enough chance to put another score on the board before going into the locker rooms for halftime. They're already up by 3. If I had to take a wild guess, if the Rams were to go up probably by 28, maybe 28, I would definitely bet to say at 35, if it ends up being 35-0, that you would start seeing some of the second stringers getting some action. Here's another rugby-style punt, nearly blocked by Austin Jones. And Richmond is going to let that one take a Woodson-friendly bounce all the way to the Robinson 32-yard line.
And Shaun, the way this offense and defense is currently playing, I wouldn't be surprised if they put 2 more scores on the board before the end of this half. Just the offense, the run game is absolutely electric right now. And I can't wait to see him get back out there as they look to start the drive.
Here is Miller under center, handing it off to Lowry. Lowry will pick up, actually, yeah, he'll pick up about 1 or 2 on the play. Second down 9. Miller once again under center. This time back to Dejon Lee. Dejon Lee cutting it up the field, and he will pick up a first down. First down by Dejon Lee. Here's Miller under center. Handing it off to Lowry. Lowry going upfield. He's got room. Roman Lowry's at the 50. He's breaking a tackle. He's at the 30. 35. Pardon me. He's at the 20. Making another man miss. Roman Lowry refusing to go down. And he will finally be dropped after a pickup of... There's a flag on the play. The sad truth is that you have to check the field for flags if there is a long run, because so far this season, most of the time there has been a flag, or as I like to call it, dirty tissue on the grass. Another block in the back, killing the Rams, but there was a face mask on the defense. Those penalties will offset, and it will remain first down.
And these Rams running backs are bound to at one point start to get tired after they're each breaking off tremendous runs. I mean, Roman Lowry, although it was called back, just basically a 50-yard full-out sprint.
That wasn't a sprint. That was rumbling, stumbling, bumbling, as Chris Berman of ESPN likes to say. Run right there. He broke at least 3 tackles, and the fourth head of the four-headed monster in the backfield, Jaquez Stewart, is in the ball game. Handing it off to Lee this time. Lee has room, trying to stay on his feet. He has a very strong base. Wasn't able to stay up that time, but regardless, it is another Robinson first down, courtesy of number 27, Dejon Lee.
And Dejon Lee slightly limping after that play. I believe he took a helmet to the thigh. Hopefully he's going to be okay. We'll keep an eye on that.
Miller under center. Handing off this time to Stewart. Stewart's got room. Slowing down and then trying to hit the gas again. Cannot get it started and will be brought down after a gain of about 12. So even So the shortest run of the game seems to feel like it's 12 yards, which any football team will not be upset with.
I mean, just even though that was a short run for every play of this game, Jaquez did do a good job of keeping in bounds and trying many penalties. We would have 3 or probably 4 or 5 touchdowns by now, but you keep getting those flags and you got to keep those hands inside and got to no blocking the backs. It's just mental mistakes, basically.
There's a timeout on the field, and it is by the Woodson Cavaliers. Following the timeout, first down and 10 on the 30-yard line for the Rams. Alex is under the center. Handing it off this time to Foncha. And Foncha, after a pickup of about 7 on the play, will be brought down. So it will be second down and 3 on the 23-yard line. Lowry taking the handoff. Lowry had room to his inside. Picks up about 2 on the play. It'll be second down, or third down, pardon me, and about 2.
I'm so used to seeing these Robinson running backs break tackles out when they get tackled. It's kind of shocking to me. But I mean, that's just a representation of how good Robinson's playing right now, especially with their blocking and their running backs. They're just, everything's clicking on all cylinders.
Miller takes the snap, hands it off to Foncha. Foncha staying on his feet at the 10-5, touchdown, Shaun Foncha. Every single run by the Robinson Rams this night has been an absolutely thunderous run involving somebody getting put on the windshield. Look out, ladies and gentlemen. There's 3 touchdowns by 3 different backs. All of them have reached daylight tonight. And that daylight is starting to become dim on the Cavaliers as they now face a 4-score deficit, with the Rams now leading with 5:37 left to go in the first half. 27-0 with Musso attempting the PAT. Musso puts it up, and once again, no doubt about it, it will be 28-0 with 5:37 left to go in the first half. Ryan, tell me about that drive, pardon me.
I mean, there's not much else to say, Shaun, that's not already been said. Of Robinson, offensive line doing an absolute fantastic job opening up holes. And once these running backs are in the backfield, it's as if no one can stop them. Just absolute phenomenal runs and thus far great blocking. So overall, just an electrifying run game by this offense in the first half.
It's simply not fair when you have 3 running backs who can all run under 5-second 40-yard dash times and are all over 200 pounds. I don't care if you are one of the best teams in the state of Virginia, you will still have a difficult time bringing somebody of that size down on their own. The best part about the Robinson Rams is that they have 3 of them. Here's Musso with the kickoff. is taken at the 10, and he is met by several Rams. That was Justin Choi before the tackle at about the 18-yard line, 28-yard line, pardon me.
And Shaun, going back to what you're saying with the versatility in the backfield for the Rams, we've seen it tonight. They've run stretch plays, and they've ran the outside, beat them on the outside for long distances. And just on that last play, Shaun Boncha right up the gut for a long touchdown run.
Wide receiver screen on the play for the Cavaliers, and it is absolutely snuffed out there by the Rams defense. That was Youngblood on the reception. No gain on the play. It'll be second down and 10 on their own 28-yard line. Cavaliers have to do something if they want to get any momentum back in this game with just over 5 minutes and counting left in the first half. Isley in the shotgun. Takes the snap. Read option play, and he'll give it off to the back, number 25. It's Chris Gardner. Gardner with a pickup of about 5 on the play.
And I believe that may have been one of the longest runs we've seen from this Cavalier offense thus far.
Third down and 5, and there has to be some sort of penalty. And it appears to be both teams are asking the ref for it to be against the other team. And for the Rams' misfortune, it is an encroachment. That time it was on, I believe, Jante Lee, little brother of Dejan, playing nose tackle, number 99 for the Rams. Got a little too jumpy on that play. 5 yards will lead to a first down for the Cavaliers as they hand it off. And that is given.
Hand off to the up back. Hit the line by number 50. The Rams, David Gibbs. Gained about a half a yard on the play. Second down, Cavaliers.
Another wide receiver screen. Taken down by number 38, Wesley Richmond on the play. Youngblood with a pickup of about 9 on the play. It'll be third down and 1 for the Cavaliers. Rams trying to get the ball back one more time before going into halftime. Read option play is the quarterback keeper. Austin Jones is staying home, and he cannot get his hands on Heisley. He will pick up just enough to reach a first down for the Cavs.
Heisley carried the ball out to the Robinson 49-yard line, where it will be first and 10 to the Cavaliers.
First and 10 for the Cavaliers on the Rams' 49-yard line. Heisley in the gun. Takes it himself. He's running out to his left. Austin Jones is right there. Heisley's got some moves. He's now back to his right, and he's got some room. Heisley is met, though, after a pickup of about 11 on the play by Yain Israel. He is chased down from behind. Good effort there by Israel.
And Heisley's just running all over the place on that play. Ran to his left, didn't like what he saw, cut it back, and got the first down. So just good determination there on Heisley's part, doing what it takes to get his team a little further down into Ram territory.
Backside corner on that play's got to stay home, and he kind of floated towards the play, maybe trying to make a tackle, and he just cut and. And Heisley just did a good job of cutting back around him, so good individual effort there by Heisley.
And it is picked off. I believe that is Austin Jones. Austin Jones stepped on the sideline, and he is out of bounds. Austin Jones with the pick. Austin Jones, big boy, Austin Jones. Coming up huge there for the Rams.
And you don't always see interceptions by defensive linemen, but when you do, it's always great to see those guys run. And Austin Jones actually has some wheels on him, and he got it down the field deep into Woodson territory.
Miller under center. Handing it off to Lee. Lee cutting it back inside with a spin. There is a flag on the play.
I think it's a block in the back there. You saw a couple players just fall kind of randomly, and out of the corner of your eye, you kind of told Robinson guy was right behind him. So, about to find out the call here.
Once again, it is a holding, and there's a clipping on the defense. Penalties will offset. It will be remain a first down, I should say, on the Woodson 37-yard line. Another run taken back there from a penalty for the Rams. However, there have obviously been 4 runs that have worked because the Rams have put up 4 touchdowns, all of them coming from the ground. We have not seen a pass attempt since Miller was hurt back in the first quarter. He has come back. It was at the end of the first quarter. He came back 2 plays later. And we have yet to see him drop back again. Here's Jay.
And once again, we see the Rams offense capitalizing on a great defensive play by Austin Jones. Austin Jones gets the interception, and Shaun Foncha says thank you very much and runs it into the end zone.
On that last play, you saw the offensive linemen do a good job of not only blocking the initial 7 guys in the line, but then blocking the secondary players, a good job blocking the safeties in the corner so they couldn't catch Foncha. And right there, you just had a good running, good blocking.
Nathan Musa with the extra point. That's Robinson with 35 points. Like to ask the 2015 lacrosse champions, girls and boys teams, to please meet by the Rams.
Ryan Keith will be leaving us.
Girls and boys lacrosse for last year's state champions, meet by the Rams, please.
Down to meet with his fellow Lexpress as they will all go.
Shaun Foncha on the last touchdown run.
Their state championship.
35 points for the Robinson Rams.
Both boys and girls.
Nathan Musa will line up to kick for the Rams.
That's part of that goes on.
It's an exciting game.
Boys team hitting the ring that says so fittingly back-to-back on the side of it as they are back-to-back state champs, 2014, 2015. Go back and do that in the lacrosse capital of the states. Here is Musa with the kickoff. Kickoff is at about the 15-yard line.
Tyler Youngblood on the return for the Cavaliers. Stopped
6:25
by the usual suspects. Number 50 and number 8 for the Robinson Rams. Number 8, Matt Pepper. And number 50, David Gill. First and 10 for the Cavaliers. from their 27-yard line.
First and 10 for the Cavs on their own 27-yard line. Heisman just trying to make something positive done on the field. Heisman handing it off to Williams. Williams taken from behind by Jones. Jones responsible for taking away the ball with the pick on the previous drive.
Silver Heisley's handoff to number 25 or 26, Daquan Williams. 4-yard gain on the play. Second down and 6 for the Cavaliers. From their 31-yard line.
You're seeing the Rams defense do a good job of reading this option, not overcommitting on the running back and not overcommitting on the quarterback. And right now it's working in their favor. They're making good stops on running back handoffs and making good stops on QB handoffs.
Cavaliers 3rd down and 3 on the 35. Yeah, you got it. Timeout. Timeout by the Rams.
Cavaliers stop. He brings up 4th down and long 2 for the Cavaliers from their 35-yard line.
There's a flag on the field.
Down by the Cavaliers. There's a penalty on the play. Personal foul. Roughing the kicker.
It was roughing the kicker, and it will be 1st down and 10 for the Cavaliers. Costly penalty here for the Rams with 1:19 left to go in the 1st half.
On the blue. 1st down. Penalty called against the Rams for roughing the kicker.
That was a 15-yard penalty. It'll be 1st down and 10 on the 50-yard line. Rolling out to his left is Heisley as he is wrapped up from behind. That time by Yayan Izzy Israel.
He'll get back to the original line of scrimmage. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Tackle with no gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 10 here for the Cavaliers. Timeout or stop. At least the time is stopped by the refs. Timeout is called by the officials. Not quite sure exactly what the timeout is for, but it gave the Rams enough to... It appears to be an equipment malfunction for the Rams, and that has Donnie Walker off the field. Here's Heisley. under pressure from Izzy Israel as he is being chased from behind. Heisley slings it, and the pass is dropped. Would have been a pickup of about 10, and it would have been enough for a first down there, but it was dropped, that time by number 21, Peyton Dudley, for the Cavaliers. Heisley has been under pressure ever since the opening whistle. His line has not been helping him out tonight, as the Rams front seven has constantly been getting into his face. Heisley looking to sling it, and it didn't appear anybody saw where the ball was. Nick Rodriguez looked like he possibly had a shot for a pick there, but it was incomplete, and it will be 4th down and 10 for the Cavs as they will send on the punt unit. Richmond back for the return, and here's Heisley with the punt. It's a very short punt with little hang time, and it takes a Robinson bounce back upfield, and it is down at around the 24-yard line, with just 20 seconds left on the clock. Rams will come back on 1st and 10. Would be very surprised if they do anything out of the ordinary, and I'm going to say out of the ordinary, anything farther than a run or just taking a knee.
1st and 10 for the Rams from the 24-yard line.
Appears that they are in the knee formation. Oh, they're going to hand it off. Here's Foncha. Always keeping it exciting is Shaun Foncha, as he picks up about 7 on the play. And as the clock runs down to 0, your Rams have a commanding 5-touchdown lead over the W.T. Woodson Cavaliers by a score of 35-0 after the first half. Touchdowns coming courtesy of all of the backfield for the Rams from Roman Lowry, Dejan Lee, and Shaun Foncha. And that will bring us into halftime. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the second half of action. Your Rams lead the Woodson Cavaliers 35-0 for those of you just joining us. Those 3 guys that the Rams have in the backfield, they did not stay in the backfield. Most of the time they were actually in the end zone tonight. With 328 yards of total rushing offense for just the first half. What's really sad is that that's actually almost more passing yards that the Rams have had all last season combined. And the Rams put that many rushing yards on the board just tonight for the first 2 quarters. With time of possession it was pretty even, with Robinson with 13:05 and Woodson at 10:55. Woodson, however, had 3 turnovers to Robinson's 1. The penalties were all Robinson, with 6 penalties for 39 yards. However, the first downs are one of the biggest stories of the game, with 15 for the Rams and 4 for the Cavaliers, as the kickoff is up and it is taken in the end zone by Nick Rodriguez. 3rd down conversion, it was 2 for 8, so 25% for the Cavaliers, while it was a perfect 3 for 3, a 100% conversion rate for the Rams. And there was 1 attempt on a 4th down conversion, which was stopped by the Rams for the Cavaliers, and the Rams have yet to attempt a 4th down conversion. Interception returns. Wesley Richmond had 1 that went for 5, and Austin Jones had 1 that went for 30. Alex Miller will get under center. And he will hand it off to Foncha. Foncha bouncing off tacklers. Foncha finally brought down after a gain of about 12. Woodson player is down on the field. And going to Shaun Foncha. And ladies and gentlemen, please remember this is all just first half stats. We have Shaun Foncha with 10 rushes, 106 yards on the first half with 2 touchdowns and 1 fumble lost. That was the sole turnover for the Rams tonight so far. The other leading rushers for the Rams was Dejon Lee on the night. He's the leading guy in the backfield with 8 rushes, 2 touchdowns, and 139 yards. Not to mention Roman Lowry with 7 rushes, 64 yards, and of course a touchdown as well to his credit. Jaquez Stewart had 1 rush, but it was for 11 yards. That's not too bad of an average yard per rush right there. And Alex Miller on his 1 scramble on this last pass attempt we saw, he picked up 8 plays. He got nicked up on the play, and he was able to get up under his own power and return a couple plays later as we see the Woodson Cavalier get up under his own power, and we wish him the best and hope that he can see more action later tonight.
I mean, if you missed the first half, that last play basically summed it all up. Just good blocking and running backs breaking tackles and turning 5 or 3-yard gains into 10-yard gains. So if you missed the first half, that was basically a summary right there.
Here's Lowry. Lowry's got some room, and he picks up 11 on the play. Roman Lowry with another thunderous run there for the Rams, right up the gut.
And it seems as if every single running back for the Rams thus far has been able to manage to average just above 10 yards per carry. Roman Lowry a little below that, but he also has not rushed as many times as the other backs.
Here is Dejon Lee. Oh, no, that is actually Jaquez Stewart. Pardon me. Jaquez Stewart, the 4th emerging head of that backfield monster that we have kept talking about throughout the season. Picks up of about 9 on the play. That gives Jaquez 20 yards on 2 rushes, so another back with 10 yards per carry.
For the Rams, for the Cavaliers, 47-yard line.
No passing stats or receiving stats thus far for the Rams. And it appears to keep that way as here's Shaun Foncha breaking a tackle. He's at the 25, the 20, 15, 10, 5. Shaun Foncha finding daylight every single time he touches the rock. Shaun Foncha cannot be stopped with his 3rd touchdown of the game. The best part about all of these runs is that they have been vintage Robinson rushing touchdowns. There is one point of the run where they seem to have the quarterback stopped, and they get him. It's not even close. They think they have him. They think they've got him trapped, and Shaun Foncha broke the tackle and then continued to almost waltz the final 40 yards into the end zone. Musso's kick is up and good. It will be 42-0. Rams over the Cavaliers. This game is starting to become nothing short of an absolutely dominant performance. Not only from just the rushing attack of the Rams, but just by the Rams as a team overall. Ryan, what do you do about Shaun Foncha?
I'd say the only thing that can be done at this point is to get about 3 guys and try to tackle them all together at once. Shaun Foncha's a big guy, thick legs, and can just absolutely plow through the opponents trying to stop him. And once he sees a glimpse of daylight, you can forget about it and he's gone.
Shaun Foncha, last week I asked him how many times are you going to reach the end zone. He told me twice. He kept his word, getting a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. This week I asked him, and he said at least 3. Well, Shaun, I'm going to have to keep asking you these questions because so far You are pretty darn accurate, as he has at least 3 touchdowns on the night. Kickoff is taken by Youngblood, and Youngblood's got some room. And Youngblood is at the 50. He is going down. There is a flag down. Youngblood might take this one in, and he will, but there will appear to be called back. That is the first time we have seen a Cavalier in the end zone tonight, and it appears that it won't even count. And that play will be nullified.
And the Robinson student section having no qualms with informing the Woodson Cavaliers that would not stand as a touchdown. Getting lively out here as the Robinson Rams have given their student fans a lot to cheer about here tonight.
Woodson getting a little bit of that Robinson fever, get a big run, and then you get a flag on the play, but you know it's going to happen, and right now Rams got to make a big stop because Woodson seems to have the momentum.
Woodson attempted the crackback block, the player at least. Ended up being a penalty, which cost them dearly, nullifying that touchdown. It will be first down and 10 for the Cavaliers on their own 25-yard line. Heisley, pardon me, is in the shotgun as he hands it off to, I believe, Williams. And stats for the Woodson Cavaliers in the first half. Heisley, 4 for 11, 26 yards. However, there was no touchdowns, obviously, to be had, and 2 interceptions, 1 to Austin Jones and 1 to Wesley Richmond. Rushing, it was not too much better with Williams. They're having 8 rushes for 4 yards. And as Heisley keeps the ball on this play, and he attempts to slide, and he is hit on the way down. Heisley himself, as we just saw there, has rushed a couple times himself. That now has 8 rushes. He picked up about 3. That'll give him 8 rushes and 23 yards on the night. And Gardner, number 25, has 2 rushes for 6 yards. So both the passing and rushing game have been non-factors for the Cavaliers' offense. Receiving-wise, not too much better. 3 receptions and 26 yards with 1 fumble loss for Youngblood and 1 reception for no gain for Williams. Here's Heisley with the reception cut to number 21, Peyton Dudley, number 21 on the catch. The first down we have seen from this Woodson offense in what appears to be several years worth of time. I mean, the time of possession was pretty even, but it's because the Cavaliers are taking their time and the Rams are just scoring so quickly. They don't even have to be on the field for more than a few minutes. Another reoption play. This is Williams cutting back to his left. He's got some room, and he is taken down by Wesley Richmond, pardon me. Pickup of about 2. 2nd and 8 for the Cavaliers. Heisley and company trying to give the Woodson Cavaliers some sort of spark here at midway through the 3rd quarter. Heisley handing it off, and Williams is pushing. I'll give him credit for the effort. He picked up no yards on the play, maybe 1. It appears they'll give him 1 yard on the carry. It'll be 3rd down and 7 at the Woodson Cavalier 42-yard line. Heisley once again in the shotgun. Heisley on a design quarterback keeper. Chased down by Jones. He is not going anywhere. There is a flag on the opposite side of the field. Only ones in the vicinity was the left tackle and Yayan Izzy Israel. I'm not quite sure what the penalty is or who it could be on. It could go either way here. Play as it stands is no gain. In the words of the referee, it was a personal foul on the blue team, which is the Robinson Rams. So that'll be a pickup of 15 yards.
Now, Shaun, do you think there's any chance we might see this game get a little chippy here as the Rams are, at this point, I think it's safe to call it a blowout, 42-0 in the third quarter. Do you think these Woodson Cavaliers are going to get frustrated and perhaps see the chippiness rise on the field?
I say it depends on how long the starters stay out there. Sometimes you get the really excited second stringers out there, and they don't exactly know what to do once they get on the field. They get a little too overzealous, and maybe that can lead to some high tensions. What Vossler is probably going to tell all of his second stringers is that they will end up get playing time most likely in this game. But when they do get that opportunity to get on the field, it is a privilege. And in order to keep that privilege, they have to keep their composure as well, and be able to hold themselves accountable and be able to, pardon me, and not commit any silly penalties that could cost the team any sort of yards or scores on that matter. Heisley is tripped up. Not quite sure who had the ball. It was Heisley. He held on to that, and that is a very late flag. Flags are flying everywhere. And as you said, there were words exchanged right there with the two teams, and flags are flying. Most likely be an unsportsmanlike conduct. Those penalties will offset. It is a personal foul on both teams. Teams are getting a little bit chippy, but honestly, the Rams, like I said, have to keep their composure and realize that they are still up by 6 touchdowns. Shane?
Although, I mean, if you forget about the penalties so far in these last couple of plays, the Rams have been doing a good job of not getting fooled by the fake and, stuffing it right there, because they know that Hensley can run the ball as well as the running back, but they're doing a good job of staying home, and when Hensley does keep the ball, they're right there. When they hand it off to the running back, they're also right there. So if they just could, like you said, keep their composure, they'd be fourth down, Rams offense would have the ball.
Heisley once again in the shotgun, dropping back, slings it, and it is caught by number 8, Jack Caldwell.
Heisley seems to be showing off his arm here on this drive. He had the pass earlier on, and we see it here again. Put some heat behind that ball and getting the first down.
The bullet of a pass from Heisley is caught by Caldwell, and that will result in a Cavalier first down. First opportunity for the Cavaliers to really knock on the door of the end zone. Heisley has room himself, and he will pick up about, I would say, 7. Pardon me, it was 5. Second down and 5, 4:03 left to go in the third quarter. Woodson knocking on the door of keeping this one from being a shutout. Woodson's playing for pride at this point, down by 6 touchdowns. Heisley slinging it to the left side, and a great defensive play there by, I believe that is Nick Rodriguez. That is indeed Nick. Great job by Nick Rodriguez. One thing we saw last week was same situation, as there was great coverage by Reed on the other side of the field for the Rams. However, the problem is that he did not turn his head around, and therefore a pass interference penalty was called on him. Nick had the awareness to turn his head around and bat the ball down. No flag was called, and it was a good overall defensive play by the Rams. Fumble as the ball is out. Great job there by the Rams as they get the turnover, and this one will remain scoreless for the Cavaliers. Great job there from number 20, Reed Scarborough, the man I was just telling you about last game. Great awareness that time for Scarborough. Put his helmet right on the football, and that thing is not staying in the ball carrier's hands.
Reed Scarborough, an athletic sophomore who may be a little bit small in stature but can hit very hard, and you saw him right there make a pretty big hit to fumble the ball right when the Cavaliers were approaching the red zone.
Here's Lowry. Lowry trying to stay on his feet. And once again, even though it was only a pickup of a few yards on the play, another missed tackle by the Cavaliers. You could argue that it's either a missed tackle or a broken tackle. I mean, some of these runs have just been so physical that even some of the most perfectly executed tackles cannot bring these guys down. It has just been the aggressive running of the Robinson Rams, and they have ran right down the throat of the Woodson Cavaliers. Here's Foncha. Foncha has plenty of room. Going back to his right. He's at the 50, 45-40, 35-30, 25-20, 15, 10-5. Touchdown, Shaun Foncha. Shaun Foncha cannot be stopped. It's simply not fair, ladies and gentlemen. 81 yards on the carry. Shaun Foncha even had enough room to turn around and make sure he was home free. Shaun Foncha. I said last season this man is possibly the next Joe Wilson. Shaun Wilson, like I said, Shaun Foncha, pardon me, like I said, is the next Joe Wilson, as I stated last year. He's proving it tonight with 4 touchdowns on the board. And the extra point is up and good. It's 49, pardon me, to nothing. I don't care who talks first, just tell me about that play. It wasn't, or that drive, it wasn't a long one.
I mean, Foncha's just a deadly combination of speed and size, and you know, like you said, you just can't stop him once right now Woodson's just going for arm tackles, and Shaun Foncha with all his strength is just gonna break that and go for a touchdown every time. So he's just been eating this defense alive, and it's unfair. It's unfair at this point.
I'm at a loss for words, ladies and gentlemen. I have not seen a rushing performance equivalent to this since number 32, Joe Wilson, was last at Coffee Stadium 2 years ago. Shaun Foncha is absolutely thrashing this Cavaliers defense. Pardon me.
If you're at a loss for words, 2 words we seem to enjoy up here in the booth: Shaun Foncha. Just Shaun Foncha.
Just Shaun Foncha. Here's Nathan Musso with the kickoff. Offsides on the Rams on the kickoff. Rams using their bread and butter, and my goodness, is that a healthy breakfast for the Rams today. That has worked all night long as the Rams have run the ball in the end zone on 7 different occasions, and 4 of those 7, over 50% of all touchdown points scored tonight by both teams, have come from number 28 in the blue and gold, Shaun Foncha. Musso with the second attempt at the kickoff. It is returned at around the 14-yard line by the Cavaliers. And he is tripped up at around the 30 and will fall down 5 yards later at around the 35-yard line.
The Rams still with 0 passing yards in the book, but who are we kidding? They do not need to pass the ball with over, at this point, 400 rushing yards and 49 points on the board. Forget about the pass, just keep handing the ball off to Shaun Foncha, Dejon Lee, and Roman Lowry.
Heisley in the shotgun. 1st and 10 from the 35 for the Cavaliers. And it is a read option play to the back for the Cavaliers as he cuts it upfield and picks up about 3. Make that 4, pardon me, on the carry. Be 2nd down and 6 with just over 30 seconds and counting left to go in the 3rd quarter. Second and 6 from the 38-yard line for the Cavaliers. Last time Cavaliers had the ball, they were knocking on the door before Reed Scarborough forced running back Daquan Williams to cough it up and give it right back to the Rams, as that is a pickup of 1 for the Cavs. It'll be 3rd down and 5.
Gain 2 yards on the play, bring up 3rd down and 4. Into the 3rd quarter to the 40-yard line.
And it is the end of the 3rd quarter, and this game is not even close. One would not even call it a game anymore. It's simply a dominating performance by the Robinson Rams.
We'd like to recognize all of our, from the Woodson sideline and the Robinson sideline. If you're a first responder or one of our military active duty or retired, we'd like you to stand up so we can recognize you.
And we have first responders and Woodson Cavaliers, pardon me, Robinson Rams and Woodson Cavaliers sideline having first responders and those serving our nation in the military stand up and being recognized. And like I said before the broadcast, ladies and gentlemen, on the tragic event that happened just 13 or 14 years ago today, we would like to thank you all for your service and for protecting our freedom and allowing us to play such a great game. Handoff up the middle for the Cavs, picks up about 4 on the play. It'll be 4th down and 1.
That'll bring up 4th down and 9 for the Cavaliers from the Robinson 48-yard line. 43-yard line.
4th and 1.
My mistake. Sorry, folks.
4th and 1 for the Cavs. And up the middle, or no, he keeps it himself. Heisley makes a man miss, makes another man miss, and Heisley doing everything he can to get as far upfield. But there is a flag on the play. Block in the back on the Cavaliers. Shot themselves in the foot there. That'll bring it back.
And you hate to see that happen, Shaun. Heisley doing everything he can to put his team in a better position to, at the least, get on the board here in the 4th quarter. And just another penalty brings him back. Whenever it seems Cavaliers are gaining momentum, something happens that takes it away. We saw it with the fumbles, and we've seen it also with these penalties.
4th down and 4 for the Cavaliers. Timeout, Cavaliers. They want to talk this one over. being in their own territory.
Robinson's annual Mini Golf Spectacular is Saturday, October 17th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Your $10 donation, 100% of the proceeds goes to your Robinson Club or your choice of which club you like. If you like the Spanish Club, come give $10, play around with the golf and the blue ball in Springfield. The Spanish Club, the French Club, the Turkish Club, I don't know if you know Turkish Club. Doesn't matter, whatever club you want to support, just buy a $10.
4th and 4 for the Cavaliers, perhaps one of their final attempts to make a mark on this game. Rams trying to maintain preserve the shutout. Time is stopped once again. This time a timeout by Robinson. Teams are icing each other on the 4th down attempt.
Robinson Mini Golf Spectacular, October 17th. It's a fundraiser like you've never seen before.
And although there are 11 minutes left on the clock, you have to think this game is already in the books, 49-0. Rams just throughout this game have been absolutely dominant on both sides of the ball.
Well, we are seeing the second string. Actually, no, it is still the first string defense out there. It might be their last time on the field tonight. Here we go, 4th down and 4 for the Cavaliers on their own 40-yard line. Heisley in the shotgun. Takes the snap, drops back for the pass, and throws it up, and it is dropped by Harrison. Harrison was wide open, and he hit him. Heisley hit him right in between the numbers, and Harrison, could not hold on. That is an absolute killer for the Cavaliers. And this will bring the second string team second string offense, I should say, for the Rams. Devin Townsend making his second appearance in the game. Came in for 2 plays during Alex Miller's injury scare. Miller was able to be, turned out to be all right and came back in. This is Devin's time to shine. As he hands it off to number 13, Matthew Bullock. Bullock with a pickup of about 3 on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 7 for the Rams. Rams already starting the drive in Cavalier territory. Devin handing it off to Jaquez. And Jaquez Stewart picks up about 11 on the play. 1st down, Robinson Rams. And these are hardly second stringers at that, ladies and gentlemen. This Rams team, if anything, has one thing, and that is depth. Going down the road, Jaquez Stewart is arguably the 6th man. He is the 4th head of this backfield monster. As we have a big hit at the end of the play, but it was a good draw written up there by Coach Scott Vossler, number 23, Dylan Foncha, as everybody calls him on the team, Mini Fonch. He runs just about as hard as his brother. And if you just have Foncha in your name, you might as well write it up as a long game. Townsend under center, 1st down and 10 at the 15. Handing it off this time to Stewart, and Stewart will pick up about 3 on the play.
Pulls ahead for about a 2.5-yard gain. Brings up second down, long seven. From the Cavaliers, 12.5-yard line.
And I believe this is actually one of the first times the Rams have actually been in the red zone, considering most of the touchdowns have come off long runs.
Very good point there made by Ryan Keith. Here's Bullock again, putting on some moves, and Bullock running as hard as he can, and he will be stopped at the 10. He will be stopped at the 10, and there is a flag down on the play. We have a holding on the Rams, and it will be a 10-yard penalty, and it will remain second down and 17 for the Rams.
As the referee marks off 10 yards, remains second down. Second and 15 from the Cavaliers' 20-yard line.
Second and 15 for the Rams. Once again, Townsend is under center, handing it off to Stewart. Stewart has some room and is able to pick up about maybe 10 on the play. Now it's more about 8 on the play. Be third down and 8.
And you have to think the Rams here are in fourth down territory, so 2 plays to gain 8 yards. I do not see this as being a challenge for the Rams running game.
I actually wouldn't be very surprised if they actually give Nathan Musso a shot to take his first field goal attempt at the game. Here's Devin Townsend on the pass attempt, and Devin Townsend will walk into the end zone on the bootleg play. Second string offense is scoring touchdowns here in this game, ladies and gentlemen. Devin Townsend carrying that one in for the Rams. Fantastic job all over the board for the Rams. Every single touchdown has been a rush for at least over 10 yards. I say at least because that last one was like maybe 15. The rest of them have been over like 20.
Devin Townsend doing a good job there of just executing the dive fake and then rolling out, and there seemed to be no one out there, so you just had plenty of room to run, and you got it right, Shaun. Like, I haven't seen a run for less than 10 yards on the day, so he just speaks the truth to this Robinson offense and the quality at which they're playing. So,
well, Ryan said it was fourth down territory. Didn't even need the fourth down opportunity, as third down Robinson converted. We also, I just realized that, gentlemen, we have yet to also see a punt. Special teams not needed this evening for the Rams other than kickoff. Nathan Musso's getting a lot of work. He's kicked it off at least 8. He's kicked it off 9 times. 1 to start out the game, and then 8 times for each touchdown, and then 8 other times for the point after attempt. So at least one kid is getting plenty of reps today, and that is Nathan Musso. And I say plenty of reps, but Shaun Foncha, I mean, after 4 touchdowns, you got to finally say, I'm sorry, but we want to keep you. We want to keep you for the next game. There's still another 8 games left to go. I know Foncha wanted to be out there, but he's just as happy to see his team be on the scoreboard the way they are now. And not to mention, he gets to watch his little brother put in some work.
his little brother's he's pretty big also. You know, he can truck some people too, so I wouldn't be surprised if he gets back in there on offense and scores a touchdown of his own.
6:51 and counting left to go in the fourth and final quarter. Kickoff taken at the 17 by Youngblood. Youngblood will be taken down by Ryan Charant there at the 37-yard line. Rams at this point are just trying to preserve are at this point just trying to preserve, the shutout. Second team defense now in for the Rams. First team offense still in for the Cavaliers. Here's Heisley looking for somewhere to go. He rolls out to his right, and he has nowhere to go. He is met there by a whole herd of Rams. They say play till the whistle is blown, and the Rams executed that to perfection. Tackled there by number 10, Zaim Garer, and number 37, Austin Ward. And number 10, oh, pardon me, I already said number 10. There were so many Rams there, you can't even count them all. Second and 10 for the Cavs.
If you didn't hear me already tell you, it's time for you to go to the scoreboard. Freshman football team to the scoreboard. Thank you.
Heisley in the shotgun, handing it off. And tackled in the backfield by Ryan Durant.
Ryan Durant doing a great job getting into the backfield and then lowering his shoulder and making sure number 42, Torrin Shanahan, went down for a loss there.
Well executed tackle for a loss there by Ryan Durant, outside linebacker, senior at that too for the Rams. .450 and counting left to go in this ball game. Heisley slings it, and it's over the head of his receiver. Because of the score, the clock will not stop running. It will be a running clock throughout the remainder of the game. So it is 4th down and 12, and it appears that this will be a punting formation here. It is, and that punt did not go very far. It does take a friendly roll for Woodson, a very friendly roll at that, and it will be down at about the Robinson 26-yard line.
This first down brought to you by Dr. David R. Hughes, Orthodontist Dr. Hughes' Smile Team, send their best wishes for a successful year.
Devin Townsend in the second team offense back on the field.
If you're getting a ride home from mom and dad, you better start making your calls now.
Make your calls now. Here is a run by Little Fonch himself. Dylan Foncha with a pickup of about 7 on the play.
Dylan Foncha on the carry for the Robinson Rams. Gain 7 yards on the play, brings us 2nd down and 3 from the Robinson 33-yard line.
Townsend under center once again. Handing off once again to Mini Fonch, and he will pick up the first down. Man, he is upset he couldn't break that one. I would definitely want to see how what it is like tonight in the Foncha home. And I cannot even imagine how excited they would be if Little Fonch also got a touchdown there. He is knocking on the door though, getting closer and closer each time to breaking one free. 2.5 minutes left to go in this ball game. 1st and 10 from the 42 of the Rams. Townsend once again under center. Handing it off to Bunklow. Boldick, pardon me. pick up about 4.
Second down, long 6.
Shane, I'll meet you at the gate.
Townsend under center. Handing it off to Mini Fonch. Mini Fonch!
Flag is down. Block in the back.
Mini Fonch.
Absolutely disheartening seeing that go back, considering Dylan Foncha just busted one loose, looking like his older brother getting to the end zone. But alas, once again, tissues are in the air, and the Rams offense will be brought back into their own territory.
That is the 3rd time a block in the back has brought a touchdown back. My goodness, I would love to see the face of the parents of Shaun and Dylan Foncha come the end of this game.
That was just an unnecessary block. If Will Fonch had the room to run, he didn't even make that block, he still would have scored, but just made the block anyways and kind of crushing his dreams there, but he still got time. 1 minute 28.
Here is number 80, Navarro Hardy. Hardy almost breaking that one free.
Hand off to number 80, Navarro Hardy. Okay, continuing. If you remember, the 50-50 was won by the father of number 64, James Lamone, of that news team. But good news for the Robinson Rams. Jim Malone donating all of that $250 back to the Robinson Rams boosters.
Here's Mini Fonch
Thank you, Jim Malone.
with a pick with no gain on the play. 45 seconds left in this one.
Second down and 9.
If I was Coach Vossler, if I was Coach Vossler, I would try to give Dylan Foncha the ball at least 2 more times, give him a chance.
I mean, he deserved it. He should have scored the touchdown out last play, but he got a block in the back call.
Well, they are instead giving it to number 34, Kenny Nguyen. And with 10 seconds left, the teams are starting to gather on the 50. That will be the final snap of the game. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you have just witnessed one of the most dominant football games I have seen played here, and I'll repeat my quote from last year, in years. That was a fantastic game there, all around by the Robinson Rams. Shaun Foncha is easily the player of the game, breaking off 4 long touchdown runs, and all of them were just as electrifying as the ones previously. Guys, we'll start with Ryan. There's nothing that you can't like about the game. What did you like?
Absolutely, as you said, there's not much to talk about that has not already been said. Defensively, the Rams doing a fantastic job, both in the secondary, in the front 7, of putting pressure on the quarterback. And once they made Heisley make poor decisions, throwing it deep, and the secondary stepping up, making the interceptions. And offensively, obviously, it all comes down to one word: run. The Rams ran it over and over again here tonight, and why not? It worked. They got a multitude of points on the board. Shaun Foncha punching in 4 for himself. Enough cannot be said about the Rams' overall effort here tonight.
I mean, Rams just did a good job of not getting tricked on the read options and staying home defensively. Offensively, Rams just doing a good job of reading their blocks, good job of just blocking overall offensively, and running the ball, basically everything that's already been said. And you know, Rams had a good performance here, and they're going to need some more of that, especially with their tough schedule.
As the Rams take up an old tradition. Coach Meyer brought this one up just 2 years ago. Following a win, the Rams ran directly over to the marching band and they all played the fight song. And my goodness, do they deserve to celebrate this one. 56-0, the final score. Ladies and gentlemen, next week we have a home game against the absolutely despised team just a little down the road, the Lake Braddock Bruins. They come over here this year, ladies and gentlemen, and for the Rams, if I could take a guess at least, it'll be probably just about as close of a game as it was last year. But tonight they get to celebrate. They put up 8 touchdowns on the board. Ladies and gentlemen, for Ryan Keith and Shane Young and Ryan Good, I am Shaun Salehi, and you all have a good night.